pollute the Council of State with its nominees again. Why do we do this to ourselves?
And in sports, World Cup qualification is on the line as Ghana's Black Satellites face Egypt in a do-or-die affair.
We'll also tell you about the directive by the Ghana Union of Traders Association to traders to reduce prices of goods and services as the city records substantial gains in the last few months. We'll be live at Abusokai to ascertain whether traders are obeying this directive. Thanks for choosing us. We are Joy News, home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. I am Hannah Odame with the details. The details now. This afternoon, pressure is mounting on President John Mahama to crack the whip on acting CEO of the Ghana Gold Board, Sammy Gyamfi, following an incident over the weekend. The Gold Board CEO was caught on camera doling out dollar notes to self-styled evangelist Patricia Udro-Koranting, popularly called Nana Agrada. This has sparked intense public criticism, forcing Sammy Gyamfi to apologize. We'll hear from civil society actors shortly. But first, here is a report capturing exactly what happened.
In the video, which has since gone viral, Sammy Gyamfi is first seen posing for a photo with Mama Pat, also known as Nana Agrada, and then proceeds to shake hands with a man standing next to them, then gets into his car. Mr. Gyamfi is shortly seen counting an undisclosed amount of dollar notes, giving her a portion. Mama Pat, standing by the door, asks for the whole sum in his hand, saying, "What will happen if you give the whole amount to me?" She proceeded to snag the notes, including the sum he wanted to keep. Sammy Gyamfi's car drove off after that. Agrada, visibly excited, left saying, "I've been able to take dollars from Sammy Gyamfi, who say woman no day," as the others followed, attempting to get some favors, saying, "Mommy, we are here. Mommy, let's share." This video has attracted varied reactions, especially from social media, condemning the actions of the Gold Board CEO. President of Imani Africa, Franklin Kujo, described the incident difficult as he believes that the amount involved exceeded the 20,000 Ghana cedis threshold the president tagged for gifts. He demands that Sammy Gyamfi provide some answers to Ghanaians and the president, John Mahama. Following the backlash, Sammy Gyamfi apologized to party foot soldiers, describing the money as a kind gesture and a lifelong custom of lending a helping hand to people in need. He, however, insists that his view of public office as a privilege to serve society, solve problems and help others has not changed.
Well, Nana Agrada has explained that she requested the money from Mr. Gyamfi to defray the cost that she incurred when she gave her house to the NDC for campaign.
I have never met him. I do not know Sammy Gyamfi from anywhere. But because I suffered in the name of NDC so many years, giving my house out for campaign, my internet, my strength, and my honor, I didn't get anything from it. Then I switched parties. If I hadn't switched, I would have taken more. What he counted wasn't that much. He was counting it 1-1. And then I snatched the money from his hands. So to the NDC supporters seeing this video, he advised me, and I'm the one who demanded for the money.
Civil society actors are, however, calling on the president to act tough. CDD fellow Dr. John Osaion says the president must suspend the acting Gold Board CEO as a disciplinary measure.
When you are in public office, you have to even pay more attention to the way things look, because that is where you even end up losing a lot more goodwill and trust. So my thing is, I'm glad that the chief of staff has summoned him. I'm glad that he apologized. There's a code of conduct in place. Whatever the appropriate sanctions are, I just hope that the president will demonstrate swiftness in dealing with this in terms of applying the appropriate sanction, so that at least he can show that, look, this code of conduct that we have instituted, it's a policy that we intend to reinforce.
You speak of appropriate sanctions. What would be appropriate from where you sit?
Appropriate at most suspension.
The executive director for the Ghana Integrity Initiative, Mary Ada, and anti-graft campaigner Vitus Azim are pushing for a probe into the source of the money.
So whatever it is that the president can do to use as a deterrent for future occurrences, I believe the president should. It could be a public reprimand, which is good enough. He apologizing is also fine. It could be even a suspension for a number of days. Or it could be for the president to know where he got all that money from and why he was sharing it like that. That's very important for all of us.
So some of these things, it requires very quick investigations for him to be able to take an action to see whether there's any cause of concern or not, and to come out and tell Ghanaians what he has found and whether he has started to take action or not. Then that's what the president should do. For now, it's a bit difficult to just say what the president should do. The president needs to look into it further to find out whether there's a basis for some disciplinary action or not.
Well, Deputy Presidential Spokesperson Shamima Muslim has confirmed the Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, has summoned the Gold Board CEO over the incident. Interacting with co-host of the AM show, Benjamin Akakpo, Shamima explained government takes the matter very seriously.
Shamima, so you've given confirmation on the invitation, and that you don't know what it will entail, though.
No,
you don't know.
Yeah.
How seriously is government taking this?
Every action, however minor or major, is taken seriously by government, as we should, because again, one of the greatest tests of this administration would be its congruence to its stated values. And it is fair that if we set a high standard for ourselves, that Ghanaians would want to hold us to those standards, especially when we had seen really eroded standards in governance over the years. And so when you hear people recognize the progress we are making in our attempts to sanitize our governance, we know that to whom much is expected, given much is expected, even if we have brought it upon ourselves.
You heard the Deputy Presidential Spokesperson Shamima Muslim there. Now, the opposition New Patriotic Party is wading into the subject, and my colleague Quay Santi joins us on the phone lines with some more details. Quay, what exactly is the MPP demanding?
Well, the news conference addressed by Dr. Kabiru Mahama and a host of other NPP MPs just ended. They described their conduct to Sami Gyamfi as sinful and recklessness, and they say the president must act off. First, they want the president to suspend him pending investigation. They also accuse him of breaching several laws of the country and are demanding tougher sanctions from the government.
It is symptomatic of a broader culture of abuse, impunity, and moral decay in the hands of the NDC government. While businesses across the country are being suffocated by dollar shortages and an erratic exchange rate, a government official with access to state resources is seen splashing United States dollars. While the cedi has shown signs of recovery, appreciating from 14.15 cedi to approximately 13.14 per dollar, this incident undermines efforts to stabilize our economy. The casual distribution of foreign currency by a high-ranking official sends a message of indifference to the struggle of ordinary Ghanaians. And what has the government has to say? Absolutely nothing. So far, there's a definite silence. There has been silence from the presidency, no reprimand from the Minister of Finance, and no action from the Office of the President or the National Security Secretariat. We are just recently learning and reading that the National Security has been asked to search the home of Mr. Sami Gyamfi. If that is true, at least it's one step we will have to comment, but that it doesn't end there.
You heard that Dr. Kabiru Mahama. Let's move to other stories. And the Inspector General of Police, Christian Teteyehonu, has revealed he defied security intelligence advising him against entering Baku during a recent surge in violence, saying he could not abandon his men who were under attack. Addressing the Otum 432 2nd on the 10th of May, as part of ongoing efforts to mediate peace in Baku, the IGP recounted the dire situation that prompted his decision to visit the conflict zone area despite the risk.
Recently, I visited Baku when our men were seriously attacked, there was a threat of more serious attack on their lives. When I got to Bolga, the whole place was in flames. Everywhere was burning. All our personnel where they were staying were all set on fire. And so that made me to rush to work. When I got to Bolga, the intelligence I had is that it would be difficult for me to enter. And I said, my men are already trapped there. So how can I end my journey in Bolga? What am I coming to tell my other colleagues in general? So I persevered with my team, and then we went.
The IGP also says that steps are underway to de-escalate tension in Binduri.
Military police and all other securities, they are very happy for your intervention. But what we want to tell you as you start is that the normal policing duties have been withdrawn. Only the operational teams that are there, because they appear vulnerable that they could be attacked at their various homes. So we ask that all those with families go back to other regions to be deployed, so that we enable an operational ground. And that is what we have been doing to grab the military till now. One particular area is Midday, which is we are working together with the national security so that we can look at the best way to reduce the hotness about Midday.
There was the IGP Christian Teta Yeho. Now, over the weekend, at least 12 houses were burnt by unknown assailants in the Gumioko community in the Binduri district of the Upper East region in what is believed to be a spillover of the long-standing chieftaincy conflict in neighboring Boku. Joine's sources say some other houses were also torched 3 days ago, bringing the total to more than 20. Regional correspondent Albert Sori joins us with more updates. So, Albert, tell us, is Binduri calm now?
Yes, Hannah, it's been calm for the last 24 hours. In fact, except for the incident that happened over the weekend, the police had been generally calm. What we know is that the houses that were burnt belonged to people who, were being targeted over the last 1 month or so, and they had to abandon their homes and seek shelter somewhere else where they would feel safer. And so the assailants took advantage of the fact that these houses were not being occupied to set them ablaze.
Thank you very much, Upper East Regional Correspondent Albert Sori there. So some politicians and the chairman of the new Patriotic Party's fact-finding Professor Michael Quay has emphasized that the party's prospects in the upcoming general elections will heavily depend on how it handles its internal electoral processes. The former Speaker of Parliament, who led a team to probe why the party lost the last election, stressed unity, transparency and fairness in the party's internal elections will be crucial to restoring public confidence and strengthening the MPP's position ahead of the polls. The party is currently embarking on a thank you tour, but Professor Quay cautioned, should the MPP be granted another mandate by the Ghanaian electorate, it must demonstrate greater responsiveness to the concerns and needs of the public. He spoke to my colleague, Elton Brobe.
After every election, you go around and tell your supporters and well-wishers, thank you. So that in future, it doesn't look like you
didn't come to appreciate
exactly. And then now you have come again. It's a Ghanaian thing.
But so, can the party come back
why not?
In the next election?
Why not? I mean, politics is a very slippery ground. Why not? It's possible. But I'm not saying that it's necessarily going to happen. I like analysis, and I want people to really examine themselves. And in future, we have responsiveness in government. We must respond to the cry, the wishes, the hopes, aspirations, trials, tribulations of our people. When you respond to them, they will also respond to you.
We are in May, 3.5 years. It's still enough time for them to reorganize themselves.
It is very, very possible. But it's not easy.
But the party we're back on internal election, do you think that will tell what they will do in the national elections?
Internal elections must be democratic. You see, when it's fair, people are satisfied even when they lose. It's a very important thing. The Constitution says in the internal management of political parties, they must abide by democratic principles.
As Ghana undertakes a national dialogue on potential constitutional amendment, the former speaker has called into question the relevance and effectiveness of the Council of State, describing its current structure as no longer fit for purpose.
The Council of State, when I visited, myself and my team visited President Kufuor, and I've given them our report on that visit, he decried the nature and composition of the Council of State as it is today.
President Kufuor?
Yes, because he feels it does not fulfill the initial concept of a Council of State, as was conceived first in 1969, copied in 1979, and again in 1992. Because if he wants advisors that he will appoint, then of course he has got a special advisor. Advisors, is that not true? And yet we pollute the Council of State with its nominees again. Why do we do this to ourselves? Why? So what do they really do? Fine men and women, of course, I can see today on the council. Men and women of achievement.
There's a former speaker, who is leading the current council.
Yes.
So should there be reform, or we should scrap it completely? I'm
not a radical, so I don't talk about scrapping. But once more, my conceptualization is institutional representation.
You heard former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Aaron Mike Quay there. The Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, has directed traders to reduce prices of goods and services to reflect the substantial gains made by the Ghana cedi against major currencies, including the US dollar. The cedi has gained appreciation since the start of the year due to strong influence from the Bank of Ghana's gold purchase program and external factors. Speaking on the AM show this morning, President of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obing, explained, despite concerns about the sustainability of the cedi, it is only right to share the gains and bring some relief to the consuming public.
Now the dollar has come down significantly, and we have to share the gains with the consuming public. The business that we do not do it in isolation. We do it with the consuming public.
So my colleague Collins Frimpong is currently at Abusokai to engage with some of the traders here. Let's talk to him. Collins, has the prices gone down this afternoon?
Hannah, so we've been here since morning, Abusokai, trying to engage some of the traders. You know, Abusokai is one of the biggest markets where we deal in spare parts. And we've been engaging some of them. And what they are telling us is that they are not able to reduce their prices as being directed by GUTA because they brought in their products about 3-4 months ago. So until they are able to sell out their products in the shops, they will not be able to reduce prices.
Oh yes, you need to reduce the prices, but not now because we have some goods that we pack for so many days or like some months that we pay with a higher dollar. So we cannot use the depression of that small, let's say a week, to just like finalize that. Or because the dollar is depressed, we can like probably reduce the thing. That is not possible.
It has been stable for about 2 months now, going into 4 months.
Oh, that one day you cannot say that it is stable for 2 months. Let's say we can give a range of 1 year.
I would say, like, it is possible for us to do so, but the goods that we are having presently were purchased so many months ago, and it was very, very high. The price was very, very high. As such, I think we have to do away with these goods, and when we go in for new goods, it's then that we will be able to reduce the price.
You heard some traders at Abusokai speaking to Collins Frimpong there. You are still listening to the Midday News on Joy 99.7 FM. Hits 103.9 FM and affiliates across the country. When we come back from the break, President Mahama says African leaders must take part of the blame for the continent's growth debts burden. Details as he calls for responsible borrowing and stronger oversight.
In Ghana, over the last several years, there was an acceleration of debt accumulation, much of it going into budget support and consumption expenditure, and in a very poor governance environment.
budgets are tight and money difficult to come by. You want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a petrol source station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white when it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level dey go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal toothpaste. Kale Charcoal toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Papa no no, 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 Ankasa. Polytech is everywhere, durable and authentic. Stronger brand you can trust. Polytech, we get some more ram and get some more super. And the Polytech, we did. Polytech, papa no no, 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 Ankasa. The best.
Mubarak. Yeah, welcome back, and Mubarak brings us sports.
Thank you very much, Hannah. So at 3 p.m. today, Ghana's Black Satellite, they take on host nation Egypt in the quarterfinals of the ongoing Under-20 AFCON. Now, a win would not only send Ghana into the semi-finals, but also secure a spot at the Under-20 World Cup for the first time since 2015. Here's head coach Desmond Ofe.
It's a final. I think it's a golden ticket. Everybody wants this ticket, and I'm sure the host nation will do everything in their ability to also win the game. But all in all, we have to show that we are the better team. I think we are not only playing a team, we are playing the nation, we are playing against history. So we have to be on our very best to make sure that at the end of 90 minutes plus extra time, we are the winners of the game. The boys, I want to give it up also to the boys. They're working really hard. They're very hungry, and they want to show the nation that this is the future of our football. So we're going to do everything in our power to try and give an incredible performance.
That's Ghana's head coach Desmond Ofe speaking ahead of the game against Egypt. Back to you.
Hungry
Hannah.
to win.
Yes, of course.
Thank you very much. The Ashanti Regional Anti-Galamsey Task Force is extending its Galamsey fight to the protection of cocoa farms under siege by illegal miners. There are incessant calls for cocoa farmers in rural areas over the destruction by illegal miners, as some farmers have deliberately sold out their farms to these illegal miners. Nanaya Ojima has been engaging players in the cocoa and mining industries and filed this report.
According to the Ashanti Region Anti-Galamsey Task Force, complaints about the activities of illegal miners in cocoa growing areas are often received. National Security Liaison in Ashanti Region, Captain Retired John Kwame Jabari, speaks of plans to rescue the farmers.
Apart from them destroying the river body, a number of cocoa farms have been brought down by these menace. It is the citizens over there who come and give us the information that these people are destroying our cocoa farms.
CEO of Cocoa Board, Dr. Randy Abbey, has expressed interest in joining the cause.
Whilst we do that, we need to also put in place the necessary legal framework to back this.
Meanwhile, the concerned Small-Scale Miners Association wants the task force to stay within forceful takeovers. President Michael Kwadwo insists some cocoa farms were legally acquired for mining purposes.
Mining comes with distraction, and in so doing, if the person has his license and even if it's a cocoa farm and the farmers are willing to give it out, I think the law permits them to mine within that confirmed demarcated area.
Nanaya Aljima brought us that report. President John Dramani Mahama is urging African leaders to take partial responsibility for the continent's growing debt burden. Using Ghana as an example, he said years of excessive borrowing for consumption and budgetary support and the poor governance has increased the country's debts. He was speaking at the African Union Debt Sustainability Conference in Lome, Togo.
And here, we leaders of Africa must take some responsibility for the debt trap in which our countries find themselves. In Ghana, over the last several years, there was an acceleration of debt accumulation, much of it going into budget support and consumption expenditure, and in a very poor governance environment. And so, what is the new debt agenda for Africa? If we're to shift from managing debt crisis to unlocking debt as a tool for development, then Africa must adopt a new public debt management agenda that is rooted in 3 foundational pillars. And the first one is transparency and accountability.
You heard President John Dramani Mahama there. Now, for some families, visiting the Safari Valley Eco Resort remained a dream, but the Joy FM Day Out with Mama to celebrate Mother's Day turned that dream into reality. Let's hear from the Omabo family sharing their joy with Joy News.
It's just a beautiful environment, and that's just a simple way to say thank you to our beautiful Mama here, who's been through a lot taking care of 6 of us, and she's always wanted to be here, so this is a perfect opportunity to celebrate Mother's Day.
Finally, you are here. It's called a dream come true. How do you feel?
Come true. I'm very proud.
And I thank my children too. Is it your best Mother's Day gift so far?
Yeah. I've been dreaming. Whilst I watch this on the television, and it has come true. So I give the praise to Lord God on.
That was the Omabo family sharing their joy with Joy News. And with that, we go to Jackie. Can I at least try to know who is in the trend? Should I try to guess?
Of course, well, there are a lot. I know you already know what is trending, but then, of course, number one, the Gold Boss CEO, Sammy James, trending number one on most of the social media platforms. And we all know why after he was seen sharing money. But let me read a couple of comments here. Musician Chris Waddle says that let's not make excuses for Sammy James. We need the best behavior from our politicians. He messed up big time. Having dollar in the car alone is bad for your position, let alone gifting it out when some grassroots party members self no chop. A lot more. Let me get one last comment from the Blankton says that my issue with the person you gave money to, the thing go me wa. Hey, Agrada. So mixed reactions on that on social media.
Is Agrada not trending in any way as well?
Hey, she's trending alongside, but we know why. But then the biggest night in music, TGMA has been trending for more than 24 hours now. A lot of people talking about what transpired there from music.
And you saw it all.
Of course, fashion and all that. But then a lot of people congratulating the artist of the year, King Promise, for that win over there. You know, it was a tight one. Stonebwoy, Kim Paluta, King Promise, and at the end of the day, he won 4 awards, including the artist of the year.
Jackie, before you go, when are you assessing the fashion that we saw? Probably on the TV, so that we
definitely JN today. Some few minutes time, we'll go on and talk about that. Yeah.
So join Jackie on the JN showbiz, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's it for the Midday News with me, Hannah Odame. But you can log on to myjoyonline.com for more news. Living Word with Dr. Mensah Rotabel comes up next.